If you're looking to learn how to apply damage using Unreal Engine's gameplay ability system, you're in the right place. In today's video, we'll dive deep into creating a data-driven damage system with GAS. We'll cover everything you need, from building reusable gameplay abilities and sending gameplay events to actors, to utilizing gameplay cues for handling character damage reactions, setting up an enemy health bar, and even adjusting damage amounts based on character level. Let's get started. First, let's create NPC actor as child blueprint of character base. Then create enemy character as child blueprint of NPC actor. Open enemy blueprint and set up SKM Manny for skeletal mesh and ABP Manny for animation class. Now go to the world map and place one enemy actor on it. Now we have the enemy actor and we need to apply damage on it whenever our player hit the enemy with his weapon. First, go to the Warrior Blueprint interface. Add new function. Name it Weapon Trace. Now open Character Base Blueprint to implement Weapon Trace event. We will implement it using Multi-Sphere Trace for Object. For start and end position, we will use start and end position of the sword our player has equipped. To do this, first we need to update our sword blueprint. Open it and add two arrow components. Name them Start and End. Then you should drag end arrow to match the top of the static mesh. Also, you can rotate arrows to point to the center of the static mesh. But this rotation is not important for now. Now go back to Character Base. Define new variable. Name it Melee Weapon. For type, select BP, Sword. This variable we will use to store reference to the equipped melee weapon. Now we can use melee weapon to access the start and end point of it. Important thing is that we need location in world space of start and end points. For sphere radius we can enter 50 for now. For object type we are tracing for we need to make an array with one member of type pawn. This will ensure that our trace will look only for other pawns. To be able to see sphere traces, change Draw Debug Type to For Duration. Now go to the Anim Notifiers folder. Create new Anim Notify state. Name it ANS, Weapon Trace. Open it. Override Received Notify Tick function. Here we should call Weapon Trace from the owner of Mesh component using Warrior interface. Now search for the animation you are using in Sword and Shield attack ability. Here we need to add Weapon Trace Notifies. First, add New Notifies track. Then add first Weapon Trace Notify state when animation starts with / around frame 16. For the end we should select frame when / is finished, somewhere around frame 20. Now do the same for all other attack sections. When you are done with setting up Weapon Trace Notifies, go to the Player Blueprint. Here we need to set reference to the melee weapon variable inside Equip Weapons function. Now when our player is attacking, we can see the sphere traces. When lines are red, this means that no collision with other objects is found. When lines are green, then collision with other objects exists. If you configure Anim Montage well, weapon traces will be executed for each attack in combo. Now the only thing we need is to apply damage to characters that we found using Sphere Trace node. Go back to Character Base. Find Weapon Trace event. First, we need to check if the trace hit some objects. If yes, we should iterate trough array of hit results. Now the idea is to send gameplay event to the ability system component of the actor that performs weapon trace. For this purpose, we will use send gameplay event to actor node. For the event tag, create new tag. Name it damage.melee. Connect actor pin to self-reference. Now we need to create event payload. For the target data, we will use ability target data from hit actor. For the instigator, we should use self-reference. For target, use hit actor. Now we have to populate instigator and target tags. To do this, we will need to update our RPG character class. Go to Visual Studio. Find RPG character header. Here we need to inherit one more class called Gameplay Tag Asset Interface. Implement it. We got one new method called getOwnGameplayTags. Here we should check if ability system component is valid. And if yes, we should call getOwnGameplayTags from it, since we need to return all the tags that ability system component has. Go back to Unreal Editor and compile. When compile is done, go to the character base. Call getOwnGameplayTags function from self and hit actor objects and connect the results to instigator and target tags. To make this blueprint cleaner, we can extract this nodes to new function. Name it, send damage event to targets. Open it. First thing we will do is to change input variable. Name it, target actors, and change its type to actor object reference. Now move connections from hit actor to element and for each loop and remove this break hit result node. Also we can refactor this MORDAV cleaner blueprint function. At the end it should look like this. Now go to Weapon Trace event. Here we cannot connect array of hit results directly to our new function. First we need to iterate troph_it, break each hit result and make new array from hit actors. To keep this clean we can extract this nodes to new function. Name it, sphere trace for targets. Open it. Here we can set radius as one more input parameter. We can set 50 as default value. Then we will create one local variable of type array of actors. Now, in the loop body we will add hit actor to the local array of actors. Using this add unique we will ensure that one actor cannot be added more than once. Now we need to add output parameter to the function of type array of actors. Name it targets. Now go back to weapon trace event. Before we connect these two new functions, we should add do once node between them. This is to avoid applying damage to the same actor multiple times during one weapon trace. For reset we should add delay of 0.5. You can play with this value, but I have found that 0.5 is right for our case. Now when we are sending gameplay event we need to check if the owner receives it during the execution of attack ability, sword and shield attack ability in our case. Here we can create more generic solution. Open GA, with montage ability blueprint. Here, after the play montage node we should add wait for gameplay event function. Promote event tag to variable, name it event tag to wait for. You can also promote this two Boolean pins to variables. Now make call to apply gameplay effect to target function on event received pin. Promote gameplay effect class and gameplay effect level to variables. For target data, we will use target data from event payload. This is data we are populating in weapon trace function. Now to make it better, we should check if ability has valid event tag to wait for, and gameplay effect class to apply on target before we call wait gameplay event function. One more thing we can add is to promote this async task to variable and make it private. Then we should end it on ability end event, to ensure that we are executing event received code only when ability is active. In our case with damage, damage will be applied only when damage event is received during the execution of sword and shield attack ability. Now go to sword and shield attack ability. You should see all new parameters we have created. Set damage, melee, for event tag to wait for. Create new gameplay effect blueprint. Name it G-E_damage_sword and shield. Open it. Add new modifier. Select health attribute. Enter -10 for modifier magnitude. Go back to sword and shield ability and set this new gameplay effect for gameplay effect to apply on target. Leave gameplay effect level to 1 for now. Now when we play this, player should damage enemy character reducing its health by 10 with each successful hit. To check this, you should point camera toward enemy actor and press apostrophe on U keyboard. Then press key 3. This will open ability system debug UI. Now we will add hit reaction animation to our enemy character. There are different ways to do this, but I would like to show you how to do this using gameplay queue. First, go to warrior interface. Add new function. Name it on damage received. Go to character base and implement it. In the implementation, we should call play anim montage node. Now go to the folder with sword and shield animations. Search for Sword and Shield Impact 3 animation. Create new anim montage based on this animation. Name it A.M. Sword and Shield Hit Reaction. Save it. Go back to character base and set this new montage in on damage received event. Now open Content Browser and navigate to Blueprints folder. Create new folder. Name it Cues. Open it. Create new gameplay cue Notify Static. Name it G.C. Melee Damage Reaction. Open it. Create new gameplay cue tag. Name it Melee Damage Reaction. Select it for gameplay cue tag. Override on execute function. Here we should call on damage received from my target input. Now go to the damage gameplay effect we created before. Expand gameplay cues section. Add gameplay cue with tag melee damage reaction. Now when we test, this enemy should play hit reaction animation when he receives damage. But this doesn't work as expected. Go to Weapon Trace Event. Here we need to check if targets is not an empty array before do once node. Now everything works as expected. Go to Sphere Trace for Targets function. We should add this draw debug type as an input parameter. Leave none for default value. Now when you play, debug traces are not visible anymore. Now let's create enemy health bar. Go to UI folder. Make new blueprint interface. Name it BPI Enemy HUD. Open it. Add new function. Name it Update Health Bar. Add one input parameter of type float. Name it new percentage. Then create new widget blueprint. Name it WBP Enemy HUD. First, add size box. Set width to 100. Set height to 8. Then add progress bar to it. Set red color for fill color. For percentage, you can enter some value greater than 0 to see how it will looks like. Now go to the Graph tab. Go to Class Settings and add new Implemented Interface. Select Enemy HUD interface we created before. Implement Update Health Bar event. Here we should set health bar percentage from the input value. Now go to Enemy Blueprint. Add widget component and name it HUD. For the space set screen. For widget class, select WBP Enemy HUD. For draw size, set X to 100 and Y to 8. Position it above the enemy head. Set its visibility to false. Now go to the event graph. Override on health changed event. First add call to parent function. Then set HUD visibility to true. Then call update health bar from HUD. For health percentage, use get health percentage function. Now override on dead event. Make call to parent function first. Then hide HUD widget. Go to character base. Here we will play death montage instead of hit reaction montage if character runs out of health after last damage. First go to warrior interface. Create new function. Name it, is alive. Add one output parameter of type Boolean. Go back to character base and implement this function. It should return true if character health is greater than 0. Now use it in event on damage received to select right montage. If character is still alive, play hit reaction montage. If not, we will create death montage. Go to Animations folder. Search for Death Animations. Select Sword and Shield Death 2 animation. Create anim montage from it. Name it, AM, Sword and Shield, Death. Important thing here is to uncheck Auto Blend Out option. Go back to character base and set it for montage in false condition. Now test it. When we attack the enemy, health bar will appear above its head. To test death montage, we need to hit enemy 10 times since we are damaging it by 10 with each hit. Go to damage effect and set magnitude to -50. Play it now. With 2 hits you should be able to kill enemy. Enemy plays death montage and health bar disappears too. One thing that is not good now is that if you continue attacking, enemy will continue to react on damage. To fix this, go to Sphere Trace for Targets function. Add check as actor is alive before we add it to targets array. Now it is fixed. One more thing I would like to address is how we can utilize data tables for getting damage amount we need to apply. Instead of this hard-coded value, we should utilize data table. Go to Data Tables folder. Create new curve table. Name it DT, damage. Rename the existing curve to sword. Add up to 5 columns and populate them with some increasing values. Now go to damage effect. Select this table we created. For curve, select sword. Enter -1 for magnitude. Now our damage effect reads damage amount from data table. To change damage level, you need to change gameplay effect level in sword and shield attack ability. Let's set it to 3. So the expected damage amount is 75. Let's try it. Now damage is increased to 75. We can improve this effect level by telling our ability to use either ability owner level or effect level from the ability. The idea is to use ability owner level when effect level on ability is less than 1. Open GA with montage blueprint. First insert sequence node right after play montage. Connect second pin to existing nodes. In first pin, we will set effect level based on described logic. To be able to get character level without casting, create new function in Warrior interface. Name it, get level. Add one output parameter of type integer. Now use it in our ability blueprint. Also, we need to implement this function in character base. But first, let's rename it to get warrior level, to avoid confusion. Now everything is in place. Go to Sword and Shield ability and set effect level to 0. Play it. Now damage should be applied for level 1, same as our player level. And it should be 35. If we level character up to level 2, damage should be increased to 50. But it is not. Problem is an ability with montage blueprint. Here we need to check if effect level is less or equal to 0. Now when we level up, damage amount will be increased to match player level. That's it for today. Next time, we'll start with setting up enemy AI. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.